Since Energy Right Solutions started offering incentives to commercial and industrial customers in 2008, we felt it was time to conduct formal market research to explore what it's like to be a member of the Preferred Partners Network. So we formed a project team to redesign what we call the PPN offering. To better determine the most impactful ways to strengthen Preferred Partners Network member benefits and engage Preferred Partners Network members in a collaborative partnership, we conducted focus groups in Nashville, Memphis, and Knoxville, Tennessee. Focus group participants were either already a part of the Preferred Partners Network or were the types of contractors that would likely be eligible to become members. We recruited over 85 contractors to participate in 24 focus groups. In order to hear from a broad range of contractors who work in many local power company service areas, focus groups were held in 3 cities across Tennessee. We identified over 20 insights that guided us in concept development. A final phase of this research is concept screening. Concept screening is a series of interviews to be conducted with both members of the Preferred Partners Network and with contractors eligible to become members of the network. The objective for this research was to talk to a range of contractors, engineers, and architects about the current Energy Right Solutions Preferred Partners Network, regarding the benefits to participating, barriers to participating, and additional enhancements that could enhance our offering for members of the PPN. We learned a lot about these contractors, engineers, and architects, and what aspects of the membership they were most excited about. Our goal was to develop a deeper understanding of their needs that we will continue to strengthen and refine in our upcoming hypothesis development sessions and planned future research opportunities. We were listening and recording feedback about how TVA and local power companies can partner with PPN members. We were not making programmatic change decisions. Many of the contractors have a good understanding of the current membership and the important role that it plays as part of the broader TVA efforts to promote energy efficiency. The great news is that much of what we heard was consistent with many of the discussions we've had on TVA Energy Right Solutions for Business and Industry PPN Redesign team. Contractors were very often interested in the various offerings that are included in the current membership. We learned a great deal about the benefits, barriers, and additional enhancements that can further improve the membership and its impact on their day-to-day business. The majority of contractors that were either current members of the Energy Right Solutions Preferred Partners Network or aware of the membership identified 4 key areas where they saw the most important benefits. Contractors believe the PPN partners offered them the ability to differentiate themselves from the competition. They saw TVA as an important partner that added an important credentialing benefit to their business. Many shared examples of how the current membership helped them to close deals, both by making them more attractive and by creating a sense of urgency. Members of the PPN can say to their customers, "Act now while the incentive is available."
Just they trust that because you are affiliated with the TVA or the Preferred Partner Network, that the information you share with them is accurate and true.
It greatly improves the return on investment for the customer.
Yes.
As far as doing an upgrade. Without the incentive, it's a much longer return on investment.
Well, we just turn it back to the customer. And sometimes, they haven't been offered that from other people.
Because it gives the customer an incentive to there's a decision-making process when you're investing in any company, and so it gives them an extra incentive, an extra source of funding to justify the project. So thereby it helps us close our sales.
Contractors felt it was important to ensure that the savings estimates provided by TVA were accurate. They felt an estimate from TVA delivered increased credibility with their customer. For this reason, they also felt that the quality of the presentation materials and their ease of use were critically important.
One of the things I like about the workbook is you can go in there and put a proposal together, and you're able to put a document in front of them that shows, hey, these are the savings you're going to have. And one of the things that I believe is documentation beats conversation 7 days a week. Is you're able to put some kind of documentation in front of their face versus, I'm telling you it's going to save you this much money, or I'm telling you it's going to save you this percentage. You actually have a documentation from, reputable organization saying, hey, this is truly what it's going to save you.
You can actually justify and show them the savings with TVA. And of course they figure if TVA is encouraging this, then it's not just the sales guy out here trying to sell you something. So it gives you credibility.
If I'm here to sell you a piece of training equipment or a piece of Daikin equipment or whatever, you insert brand name here, and I send you an energy analysis that says, here's how much money this piece of equipment is going to save you, and you can pay me today. They immediately think I've manipulated those numbers. So to have something that came from TVA, their utility, to say, hey, if you go from this to this, you're going to save on average of X to Y.
Contractors also said it was important to ensure that there was broad awareness and access to education from TVA for members of the Preferred Partners Network. They wanted to ensure they were clear on how to use the membership, how to find out the best ways to sell the benefits of the Energy Right Solutions programs to their customers. Many contractors were also interested in TVA-specific training related to technical expertise or hot topics related to broader energy trends and ongoing energy efficiency topics, such as where rates are going and where federal legislation on energy efficiency materials is going.
Knowledge is power. You got to know your products and everything else. So the more information you got, the better. So yeah, I think it's very valuable.
A number of contractors also felt the TVA Preferred Partners Network provided some level of networking benefit. In some cases, contractors saw the membership create opportunities for them to network with other contractors and were hoping for enhancements, such as opportunities for more direct engagement with TVA.
One thing that I would think of is have a conference in a central location, whether it's Nashville or wherever it is, maybe wrap golf outing around it for vendors and TVA folks, and just almost just what we're doing right now. Just a symposium of
expert to expert.
Yes, I'd be more than willing to pay to go to something like that. To interact with these kind of guys. And get ideas and just put heads together.
Similar to our discussion on key membership benefits, contractors also identified a number of critical perceived barriers to the current Energy Right Solutions Preferred Partners Network that, if addressed, would increase their interest or participation in the membership. There were a number of concerns specific to time lags. Most contractors cited concerns regarding the pre- and post-inspection process and the disruption this added both to their sales and installation cycles and the challenges that this often created with their customer. There were also concerns that timing lags for actually paying out fixed incentives often took longer than expected, and there was not a process in place to keep contractors updated on the estimated timing. Often, contractors were being contacted by their customers with questions or concerns specific to the status of payments, and this created an unwanted source of friction.
It slows the process down. I would want everyone to. Sometimes we're waiting three weeks to get an inspection done because they're backed up.
The last thing you want to do is say, hey, we can get you a rebate, and then say, sorry, we can't get you the rebate because your system failed. We can't wait for the guy to get out here. We got to have it, and there is no retroactive.
Just the whole application, just getting the application approved, it takes forever.
Okay.
I've got a customer right now that we finished the project. It took a while to get it approved, but he did it. And we did the project, we implemented, they sent they came out and did a post-inspection, their engineer. And it's been sitting there for over a year and the customer don't have his rebate.
Virtually all contractors felt the current system for inputting lighting information on specific jobs was confusing and complicated. Concerns ranged from the inability to efficiently combine common information across jobs to the lack of ability to include favorites to allow them to replicate identical info for multiple parts of the job.
if my workload doing these continues like it is, I may just drop out of the program and depend on the people I buy my light fixtures from to push the paperwork.
And they're doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
The supply houses.
Yeah, they will already do it.
It's so tedious and cumbersome and frustrating that I have never actually submitted a project through it. I've fiddled with it and learned how to use it. And all of the projects we're working on right now, I mean, I have 10 different projects with energy efficiency elements, and at least on the lighting side, I don't think the rebate's going to be enough money to have it be worth my time to enter it in.
Many of the larger or more sophisticated contractors were concerned about the uncertainty of funding. There were concerns about how much funding was left for any given year, as well as concerns about the uncertainty of funding for future years. They felt that this created a major challenge because it impacted their ability to either convince a client to move forward sooner or resulted in them creating a false sense of urgency if there was indeed funding left or if Energy Right received additional funding.
But if we're trying to budget a bigger control system upgrade or a bigger unit change out, there's nothing that says that, okay, the money's here now, but by the time this customer's budget cycle goes around and we've done all this selling based off TVA's incentives, that money's gone.
It would be nice to know, what the future is of the Energy Right program. I know the whole concept of what's going on with Energy Right, but I would like to, the customers to be able to talk to my customers and say, okay, yeah, I know you don't have funding this year to do this.
Yeah.
But next year we will.
Yeah.
And I have to be able to tell them next year it's still there for you.
Yeah.
Because in the industrial market and commercial market, they may have to put a new chill on top of the building or something, so I don't have funding to do lighting this year.
Yeah.
But I'd really like to do it next year. We really don't know if it's going to be there next year.
Now I always do it as a separate line item, as more of a, you may get this money back because the money may not be on the table by the time you go through with the project.
I think there has to be a real openness too about like how much money is there, how long is the program available, because we can't go out and offer this blindly, and I think what you can see is there's not a lot of publicity and interaction, or how often are folks going to be able to go back and check on the status of the program? Hey, is that pot of money still there? It's always a buyer beware market, and people are always wondering, are they making a sell job on me? If actually money is running out, here, check it out for yourself. This is where we're going, and make it easy for these clients. Or
transparency,
right, because there's that for us. That's always the scary thing about putting that in a line item. They have to view us as a trusted advisor if we're going to go do that, and we can't have the rug taken out from underneath us.
Participation of the PPN network is really a good thing. The incentives went away for a little while because they got over committed, I guess, for the money, but now they're back, and hopefully they'll stay back and stay consistent, so that we can plan. It's if you know it's there, and you just follow the little trail of how to process. It's a real neat thing for the client.
The stability of this program is kind of important, I think, because if it's going to come and go and come and go, I'd almost rather it just go, because I don't want people waiting for 18 months to see if the program's going to come back. It became a negative for me during that big waiting period, to where I'd wish that at that point, there came a point where I wish they'd just come in and say, we're not coming back.
Often, smaller contractors expressed concerns about the amount of time and effort required to initially join the Preferred Partners Network. This was not as significant of a concern for larger contractors because they often had access to administrative support to help complete the PPN application process.
Yeah, when we were doing the installing, I actually hired a female that had experience
Yeah.
with TVA to submit all my
Sometimes you need
invoices.
special experience.
Oh yeah, because it was so in depth.
Yeah.
We were not set up to handle that.
To be perfectly blunt, since you're wanting blunt, it's kind of a pain in the rear end to fool with. There's a tremendous amount of paperwork. Of course, it's a government thing, so there's a lot of paperwork.
In addition to our discussions on key benefits and perceived barriers, we also spent dedicated time with contractors identifying potential enhancements that would strengthen the Preferred Partners Network and engage its members in a collaborative partnership. There were two important groups contractors believed could benefit from enhanced education. Each of these areas could be delivered by a range of options including email, standard mail, recorded webinars, and events. Members of TVA Preferred Partners Network could benefit from education about new technologies, regulations, predictions about future of energy and rate changes trends, and industry-specific content such as HVAC, compressed air systems, and so on. Contractors felt that their customers could also benefit from enhanced education. Key topics discussed included general energy savings, specific energy efficiency ideas and case studies, and co-branded energy efficiency reports and presentations.
What's coming up legislative-wise? What rules are going to change? Do we foresee energy costs per kilowatt hour going up in the near future? What could we see in 5 years? How could we speculate what energy costs are going to be 5 years from now based upon the information that we know? Then put that into our forecast of savings as well, because we're dealing at 11, 12 cents a kilowatt hour, and if it's going to be going up to 15, 16 cents, or I'm just making those numbers up, but if it goes up in the near future, and we know that it's going to go up in the near future, that's additional savings that they can count on.
We got some people out there that are still on some old, outdated stuff that's just sucking the life out of their electric bill. There needs to be some education for them to, hey, here's what would happen if you did this and you put this equipment in.
We're all the time talking about energy efficiency and what does it really mean.
Yeah.
And, we're not really the experts as far as the dollars. Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to commercial, how much will this piece of equipment save you? That's a pretty big question.
Many contractors thought there was a meaningful opportunity to create an improved status reporting system. They felt that the system should include a range of reporting items such as a checklist on paperwork, job status, process updates, and estimated project and payment timing.
I turned in paperwork for this one 100% complete in April 15th, and I had not heard anything until this morning. I sent another email. Said the finalized paperwork was turned in over 3 months ago. Someone please let me know the status on this project.
For the customer, that's a major problem.
Right, to wait 4 or 5 months on a check or longer that he's thought he was going to get.
If you've got a checklist that they're requiring you to have, then, let me send it over to your tech department and you stick it onto my, invoice, or send me something I can easily drag and drop in, Word or whatever into my document, so that way I don't have to go through and do a whole new, thing without a little bit of help and support from the company.
A number of contractors who were members saw a benefit to increasing the types of financing available for small commercial jobs, given these are often the types of clients that fail to move forward with meaningful energy efficiency upgrades because of a lack of capital. There was also discussion among some contractors about the potential benefit of pay or rewards to the contractors themselves versus their customers.
A lot of times I have customers who can't afford their need, and in that situation, if they was presented with an opportunity for financing and the opportunity for the benefits, they would jump on it in a heartbeat. And so, I would definitely say, financing or some type of program to help fund it. Like I said, right then, a lot of times these benefits or these programs don't entice the person because it's, well, you have to get it on your taxes or something like that. If it's something that they can see right then, or something that can help them out right then, like you said, a financing situation or something like that can help them out right then, they would love it.
There were also important conversations about ways to improve or enhance the credibility or exclusivity of the preferred partners network. In most cases, larger and more established contractors felt that there was a benefit of limiting by trade or niche and creating recognition badges and enhanced incentives for members as important ways to strengthen the network. Recognition badges could be based on criteria such as time in membership, number of deals done, dollar value of the deals done, or energy savings and customer reviews ratings. Enhanced incentives could include concierge service, support, and other miscellaneous incentives, such as discount memberships that benefit their business, discounts on business tools, and discounts on employee benefits.
And so that the customers over time could look in and go, I'm going to choose the best PPN. And it would be a good source for, if you do a good job, you get rewarded for that.
Everybody
it's an oversaturated market of preferred partners.
I mean, you kind of lose the, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess punch.
The clout.
Like fleet discounts, cellular phone discounts, anything like that they pass along to us. They even offer health insurance to pass on to our employees. So.
And do you use those?
We do. Like I said, we're young and still able to be molded. And can kind of pretty much whatever they throw at me, I try and accept it, use it to the best we can to help us out. So.
All contractors felt there were important enhancements to the energy savings calculator that could help improve the current system and provide important enhancements. Improvements such as extending the calculator to include estimated savings beyond lighting, incorporating info from the bid system, creating a way to enable favorites, and creating a way to see the calculator in walkthrough capability were improvements that were suggested by many focus group participants.
The problem I've got, and maybe it's just ignorance on our side, is I'll load up a 40-story building and I'll have maybe 5 different lights, and I cannot sort my selection down where I can find that every time. So I got to scroll through 150 choices to find it, and it just doubles and triples the time to check.
So having something that shows actual cost and you plug in your rates and you get your payback is handy to have something that's quick and easy. That would be great.
Contractors also felt there were opportunities to utilize co-branded marketing with TVA to create a more collaborative partnership. Specific opportunities included a co-branded calculator printout, co-branded promotional materials, and increased advertising to PPN customers to drive broader awareness of the program while also recognizing the notable energy efficiency improvements and the contractors that did the work.
But just to give validity to a customer that you talk to and you give them the information and you tell them about the website and they go there and they just see that your name's on there, that gives you validity.
Credibility, just that you're part of something other than just your company. So bottom of my emails, it's branded.
We have it on some of the proposals. I don't put it on everything that goes out, just kind of like when needed.
So probably recognition in the TVA newsletters, which really could lead to business opportunities in other markets. So that would be a benefit from an awards perspective.
Two key themes emerged that have the potential to make a real difference for TVA Energy Right Solutions PPN membership. These themes became apparent as we compared learning across contractors within each city and as we looked at key themes across cities. Discussions with architects and engineers and large current PPN members identified an important insight regarding the value of customized consultation that TVA could potentially provide. Both of these groups saw opportunities to identify potential concepts, schematics, and energy-efficient substitutions in partnership with TVA. Architects and engineers felt that often this type of work added time to their designs that they cannot currently charge for. Larger PPN members felt that there were existing clients or large accounts that TVA was aware of that could benefit from more energy-efficient choices that had not yet been implemented. In both cases, these groups felt that the credibility and knowledge that customized partnerships with TVA would provide could deliver significant incremental efficiencies.
I mean, I would think TVA would be proactively going to them and saying, hey, let's go through your building and let's, show you ways that you can upgrade your building, cut your utilities. We'll give you rebates and incentives. Here's our list of contractors that can do this work and get this for you, but here's the plan that you need to look and pursue.
You go through the process of, well, you say you need something. Okay, there's a great energy saving solution that's designing this. Can we actually do that? Well, and what would it cost? And figuring out feasibility and first cost without designing the thing all the way through and getting it priced is tricky. And there's not an easy answer to how to achieve that. I will freely admit that any help I could find for that would be a godsend, because it is a problem we see repeatedly.
The custom solution is, I've got a facility that's spending $5 million a year. We're going to be able to save them $500,000 a year. Okay, Mr. Utility, we're taking your biggest customer, and at peak time, we're going to be able to dial them down a little bit. So it's kind of, how can you help us, and how can we all work better together?
Discussions across the wide range of contractors also delivered an important insight around two very different paths that TVA could consider moving forward. Contractors understand the general concept of TVA trying to drive energy efficiency and minimize the need to build more power plants. The larger PPNs see opportunities for bigger deals to deliver larger pools of energy savings. The smaller PPNs are looking to a membership from TVA to help drive their competitiveness versus larger firms. The insight here is around the tension point that TVA must consider as they prioritize these two very different options. TVA could prioritize savings and size and partner with larger PPNs to deliver fewer, larger projects. Alternatively, TVA could prioritize increasing the absolute numbers of PPNs or absolute coverage to deliver more smaller projects.
Generally speaking, I would say that the big corporations and the large institutional clients, so Rhodes College, University of Memphis, UT, we do some work for Sewanee in Middle Tennessee. A client like that has a large enough inventory of buildings, they start getting smart real fast. And you don't need to point them toward energy efficiency. They're going to be looking in that direction anyway. And they're going to be ones that are interested in, is there an incentive? Is there a way for me to defer some of the cost I'm taking on in order to save energy over the next 20 years of the system? I got to spend more now. Can I spend less of that more now with an incentive and still get what I'm looking for? They're going to be interested in that just inherently. And it's more a matter of just having ways to be aware of what incentives are out there for them. It's going to be the smaller folks, the private schools, K-12. It'll be smaller commercial clients, probably really, really light industry that may know they want to do something but don't know how as well as a larger industrial client, where they need more guidance and hand-holding that are sometimes the bigger challenge.
I think you're going to have fewer incentives with a larger outcome.
Okay.
You're going to have, you may spend $5 million, but you won't do it in 100,000 projects. You'll do it in 10,000 projects.
Based on this learning, we are planning to regroup as a TVA Energy Right Solutions PPN redesign team for a phone meeting to generate hypotheses for potential ways to strengthen Preferred Partners Network member benefits and engage PPN members in a collaborative partnership. Hypothesis generation is the halfway point of the PPN redesign project. You can see here that we started with a kickoff meeting in mid-June. A team of 13 people consisting of local power companies, the Tennessee Valley Public Power Association, most often referred to as TVA PPN, and TVA are working together every step of the way. By mid-August, we'll be running concept labs in Nashville and Knoxville. Concept screening research begins August 20th and spans into mid-September. Concept screening is conducted via telephone with contractors across the entire Tennessee Valley. This project concludes with a synthesis workshop with the entire local power company, TVA PPN, and TVA team in Nashville at the end of September. TVA would like to thank all members of the PPN Redesign Project team. They are a terrific group of people committed to strengthening partnerships with members of the Preferred Partners Network.